What's up, Transformers fan? Mondo the Dad Bottom is Prime, along with Aatron as Minicon, and this is another Moonbase 84 podcast. And today, we're going to be talking about the recent Hasbro Pulse fan stream, all the reveals for Age of the Primes, as well as the topic of the day, which is reissues.
And yeah, you want to kick off this podcast with the results of the question of the week from last week?
Sure. So last week we talked a lot about Wild King and showed some new Wild King toys, and we put the question out there: if the Wild King toys were more readily available in your markets, meaning that you didn't have to import them, would you pick them up? We didn't get a lot of responses, but 100% of people said yes. So I thought that was interesting that people do want these toys, but they want to pick them up, be able to get them easier. So yeah, I thought that was cool. Hopefully they somehow find a way to import them, Hasbro, so other people can get them and enjoy them.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. If they were around here, like Walmart, Target, or something like that, I'd probably scoop up a few for sure. They definitely have a lot of play value and look really cool, I must
Yeah,
say.
and you know
And I
I
gotta,
love.
yeah, I know you love them. I gotta start watching the show at some point. I will.
Yeah,
But yeah, you
I
want to
have
move
some.
on?
Well, I have a
Oh,
couple things I want to mention. One thing I want to mention is that we're trying to do this podcast weekly. The last one, due to technical difficulties, was aired Wednesday at 1:00 in the morning. But forward, we're going to try to do them once a week, hopefully for Saturday nights.
yeah, that's the goal.
But if you missed out on that, check it out. We had a lot of fun for the first ever podcast. Went over some toys and Wild King.
And we made some improvements for this podcast, as you can see. We got a little
We're getting there.
slideshow thing going on.
We're getting there. Live and learn.
Oh
You learn.
yeah. But yeah, ready to move on to the first topic here?
Well, I wanted to bring up that last weekend. This is some crappy news, kind of. Last weekend was the Summer Game Fest, where game companies, they reveal a bunch of new games from the game companies, and I was disappointed that the rumored War 4 and Fall of Cybertron remasters were nowhere to be seen. I really thought there would be a mention of them, so that's kind of crappy. Disappointment. So
Yeah, I agree, and I don't even think I've actually played these games for myself. I've watched you play them many times. But yeah, I would really love to be able to play these games for myself and go through them. Say, look sick, and the story is so good, and it's all the characters. It's just a really cool looking and design game with a good story, like I said, and all that. And yeah, it sucks that I can't play this game without getting a PS3 or something. Is it?
yeah,
Can you play?
PS3.
You can't play on PS4. So yeah, PS3 or a Xbox 360. And I don't want to spend the 150 to 200 bucks on a PS3. I'd rather spend 60 for the remastered game or however much it would be when it comes out. But it's very unfortunate. It just eats at me so much that there's all these rumors going around, and they've been around for a while now. Probably almost how long?
Even before they
Probably
cancel and reactivate these
even
rumors.
before So it's starting to get a bit bewildering to this point as to why there hasn't been even an official announcement. I mean, these rumors have to be starting and stemming from somewhere.
The rumors were from known leakers who are usually right, and they said it's definitely coming. I mean, yeah, it's still rumor territory, but usually when these certain leakers say something, it does end up happening. I thought it'd be something they would add. I mean, I didn't expect it to be a feature necessarily of the Game Fest, but I figured something would be said, maybe a small little trailer or something.
Yeah,
They showed off a bunch of trailers and I watched both the Summer Game Fest and Xbox had a showcase, so I thought maybe I don't even have an Xbox Series X anymore. I just have my PlayStation 5. But I figured maybe they would maybe in the Xbox showcase something would be mentioned. So if anybody has heard anything about this, maybe something, hopefully I missed something, let me know if you heard
Yeah.
any more details, if we're getting this or not. I still have my PS3 and I still play this game from time to time, but of course, you're missing out on being able to really play the multiplayer, which is a fun aspect of games.
Yeah. That's what I want to play really bad. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, so
Oh yeah.
kind of disappointed. Well, very
Yeah.
disappointed.
So I want to
So,
move on now.
well, yeah, Hasbro had, of course, their fan stream, showing off a bunch of Age of the Primes releases. So we figured we'd go through them all as usual, toy news, and just talk about them.
So yeah, first up here was this one's Fireflight, right? The other one's
Aerial Bot
Skydive.
Play. Yep.
Yeah, Fireflight. He looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I like obviously the 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 white and red aerial bot color scheme here. And this guy looks like he even has more hits of blue than the other aerial bots. I don't know. I think it's been forever since, well, not forever, but it's been a minute since I've seen the G1 show, and I haven't really seen what guns he uses. But I'm looking over at my shelf right now, and his weapons look like a copy and paste of what's his face? Blanken. Blanken. Yeah, no, other one. Blanken. Why am I blanking?
Slingshot.
Yeah, Slingshot. It looks like pretty much a copy and paste. So I don't really pay that much attention to detail to weapons unless obviously it's like Grimlock's or like Prime's gun. But I wish they kind of did something different for this guy. Unless it is show accurate or whatever, then my complaining is you can just throw that out the window. But I mean, aside from that, this dude looks really, really good, I must say.
Yeah, it's definitely continuing on with the look of the aerial bots. I really like the look of all the aerial bots for the Age of the Primes. Kind of the G1 cartoon, pretty close, brought to life. Yeah. I'm individually, I'm more excited for Skydive because I always liked Air Raid. Well, besides Silverbolt, but I've always liked Air Raid and Skydive more than Fireflight and Slingshot for some reason. Maybe
Slingshot's kind of just he's kind of an unlikable good guy. I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of an ass in the G1 cartoon.
The aesthetic, especially
Yeah,
his forearms are a little weird in the newest
with Slingshot.
Yeah, they're like kind of flat.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, these ones look kind of flat too. If you zoom in here, these ones kind of look pretty much the same. They look the same as that.
Well, my eyes suck. You have to zoom in. Yeah, they do kind of, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because the red hides it a little better.
Yeah, maybe.
I think his were just white. I don't know. I don't have.
Yeah, yeah, his are just white. Let's take a look at his alt mode here. My thing will zoom out so I can go over here. This is what the alt mode's looking like. I think it looks really, really cool. I love it has like that red base and then the white wings. So like that has a nice hits of blue on the wings as well. Also with like the yellow too. Looks solid.
The blue and yellow trim a lot. Yeah.
I like how there's how the cockpit is like it's got that gray trim and then like the silver going on there. I think that looks really cool.
It does look really nice.
For sure. And then the tail wing design, I think it's really, really good alt mode. And of course with all the panel work there too.
Yeah, definitely.
He looks good. Yeah, looks really, really good. And then next up we have
Skydive.
Mr. Dive.
And I really like him. Like I said, I think to me, Skydive and Air Raid stand out because they're not white and red. They're like with Air Raid, he's black, but this is black with some nice grays with a little red. But he just really pops. I like the black and gray color scheme.
Me too.
Nice. Yeah.
And you notice too, he has different guns.
Yeah.
He is really cool. Actually, I want to go. One thing I didn't see in this guy mode. This guy doesn't have an Autobot symbol anywhere, it looks like.
Well, they're on his wings in alt mode.
I know, but still in robot mode, I feel like you should.
Yeah.
Even if it's not show biblically accurate, I mean, I that's just the thing I have. That just might be a me thing. Like, if I don't see an Autobot symbol like in robot mode, or even like a Decepticon symbol or whatever, I don't know. It eats at me for some reason. I don't know why. It just does.
You want to represent. You want to show
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like on
yeah,
your shoulder or something, or like right below his chin there, where that white space is right there. That'd be a perfect place for it. But
yeah. Be
not.
proud of your allegiance.
Yeah, right. But
Yep.
I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm not gonna get this guy because he doesn't have a symbol on his chest. Or
Well,
no.
Toy Hacks makes Autobot symbols.
Yeah, right. But that's a mini gripe. The thing with the guns and the thing with the no symbol. Those are mini gripes. He's like, oh, look at he wears it in his alt mode, at least, like you said. But yeah,
Yeah.
but no,
Look at
skydive here. He wears it on his heart, right on his spark.
He's repping hard.
But yeah,
Firefly
yeah. But yeah, like you said, this guy just looks really, really cool. And like, I don't know, he's almost got like, for me, like almost like a Star Wars like Empire vibe with the color scheme going on here with the blacks and the gray. I think it looks really, really cool. And his arms, like you said, they're not flat on this guy. They're nice and blocky. Nice and blocky.
They're more like the air.
Yeah.
They're probably
I think
molds, like remolds, like retools of the same molds. Is my guess.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't get into too in depth about that usually to like really scrutinize. I just want a cool looking figure.
Yeah.
But
back here, it looks like, I don't know, but back here, it looks like there's not going to be a lot of hollowness in the back here.
No.
It looks like it's going to be closed up pretty nice.
Yeah, just this forearm's a little hollow.
Yeah, and that's not terrible at all. Just flip the wrist in or whatever. It's not terrible.
Yeah, wrist got to go somewhere, I guess.
Yeah. And it's hidden in here somewhere, and this looks sick. I love his wings, like the Thunderbolt thing going on here. It looks
that's
sick,
why I've always liked him and Air Raid better. They just they added, just a little more pizzazz than just white and red.
Yeah. I always thought it was a bit odd though how they chose like a blue wing instead of, or like the tail wing there made it blue.
It really stands out. I like
it. It
that.
does stand out.
I can't remember if that's accurate to the original toy though, but I don't care.
I don't know.
I don't care if
it's accurate to the show though. I'm pretty sure though.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a really cool, sleek design. Nice gray. Nice, like, looks like almost like a matte black color on like the cockpit and the nose cone there. Looks really, really cool. And like the blue with like the Thunderbolt in the back, that almost reminds me of like the Chargers, the football team there.
Oh yeah.
I think that's really cool. It's like that same color scheme. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I'm excited to get my favorite combiner, and we'll have them by the end of the year, Superion.
Oh yeah. Moving on from the aerial bots.
Oh, here we go.
We got some G2 Dinobots. I know you're stoked for these guys, so I'll let you take it away.
Well, I heard this was, this was a leak, and of course, they're Dinobots, so I was really happy. I have the G2 Grim already, the blue one. So these guys will add, they'll go nicely with that, with the G2 Grim, obviously, and I will take Dinobots, especially the Studio Series 86 Dinobots, in any shape or form. So you got Slag, who's rocking his G2 green deco, and I think he also had come out in red. I could be wrong. I think each one came out in the other color besides what they're coming. But Snarl, yeah, I always, for some reason, all the Dinobots are associated with fire because they breathe fire.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Snarl and Grimlock I associate with fire a lot. Slag too. So I don't know. I think maybe if they did Slug, sorry. I think red Slug, green Snarl. I don't know. But either way, I'll take them. I'm not going to complain. Yeah, excited. And the other leak, and I think they actually confirmed, they did confirm it, I believe, on the fan stream, that even though they didn't officially come out in G2, they were planned to Swoop and Sludge, and they are going to release them in the colors that they were supposed to be released in G2 for. So I will have another full set of Dinobots in more colors. So I am, and this is already Aerial Bots, and these guys were pre-ordered as soon as they went up.
Yeah, I ordered the Aerial Bots, but I probably won't get the G2 Dinobots. I don't know. It's just,
you're cool. No.
No. The molds are great. You really can't go wrong with the molds. They look sick. But if I were to get one of the G2 Dinobots so far, I would get Slag for sure because the Triceratops is Slag's probably besides. I mean, Grimlock's like everybody's favorite
Well,
Dinobot.
remember,
So
this is actually a 2-pack.
I
You
know,
have
I know, I know. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I mean, if hypothetically, if I were to get one, I would pick Slag because the Triceratops is my favorite dinosaur, and Slag is my favorite Dinobot aside from Grimlock, and green is my favorite color. So I feel like there's not a lot of green Transformers, so I think that'd be kind of cool to pick up this set just for that, for sure. But let's get a better look at these guys in
oh yeah, they look
Dino
good.
mode here. Yeah, they do. They look
I like
sick.
this. Can you zoom in on Snarl?
Yeah.
I think did they? Oh no, I thought they added like paint on his his spikes, but they didn't.
Mhm.
I thought those were black painted lines, etched into the sculpt.
No, it doesn't look like it. I like
But
how
that's
they made Slag's jaw here silver. I think that looks really cool.
yeah,
Definitely gives
but
it
yeah,
more life. And I love the red eyes too. I think it's a big contrast from the normal like blue eyes. So I think it's almost like they're more like I don't know, just like rage, more like angry Dinobots. I
yeah.
think that's pretty cool for
I'll never
sure.
say I'll never say no to a Dinobot,
Oh
especially
no,
these
you won't.
guys. The only issue I had with those Studio Series Dinobots is a lot of people hated on Swoop kinda. The only issue I had with him is that I think he should have been a little smaller, maybe
Me too.
a Voyager class.
Yeah,
Because
I
when you
agree.
stand him up next to Grimlock, he's like right.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
but technically speaking, if you were gonna go dinosaur scale wise, Sludge should be huge.
yeah, yeah,
but but they weren't in the show, so that's okay. But I
yeah,
think Swoop it was a little smaller in the show. I don't know. I
yeah,
was Voyager Swoop.
yeah. But yeah.
Yeah,
Moving
we all have
on
some
here
for those.
from yeah,
I've
for
been waiting
sure.
for, I've been waiting for an official announcement.
And that's the
There's
box too. Yeah, I need to get a picture of the box in here. I think that artwork is sick. That
yeah, it's
artwork
pretty
looks
cool.
really cool. But I just wanted to highlight that for a second. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. Next up, we have Onyx Prime here. He looks pretty cool. I
And
don't
I
know. I
like
mean, I don't know how to feel about the color scheme. I mean, it's an alright color scheme, but I feel like his like design, just like and how he looks. You know what I mean? I think that makes up for the kind of odd color scheme. He's got like a coffee color scheme going on here. It looks like,
he looks like a
but
candy bar to me. Like
yeah, he looks like a Snickers.
I want to go out and get a Milky Way or something.
Yeah,
But kind of a regal color scheme for a Prime.
yeah, yeah,
They're pulling these Prime designs. They're from different iterations of the Primes, a
yeah,
lot of comic books and stuff, and they're kind of melding, basing them off that and sometimes merging looks. I think he looks cool. He's regal looking for a Prime in
yeah.
that color scheme,
Yeah, he's
and
got some hits of gold, which I think is pretty cool.
and
You
he's a
see,
Beast Former, which I love Beast
yeah,
Former. So
oh yeah.
he looks
And
he looks
you can
like
tell
wow,
from his haunches and his hooves down there. He's got
all his wings too.
yeah, yeah. Well, I want to get a
He looks
closer
like
look at this head
you
sculpt.
want that head
It looks
sculpt.
cool. That looks
It
sick.
it does look really cool, and it looks like he belongs in Transformers Prime.
I was gonna say he looks like what's his face? Was it Predaking in that show? Was he?
Yes, a little like
I think
yeah,
it kind of looks like that. I think
yeah.
that's sick.
And it'd be cool if we could get a Predaking out of a retool for
Mm,
the
mm,
Transformers Prime Predaking would be awesome.
definitely.
A
But
lot
yeah,
of
this
people
guy looks
saying
pretty cool.
retool him into cryotech, which people want a cryotech, or
Yeah,
they want it from the Transmetals Megatron, the newest one in
yeah,
Legacy, the Megatron, or some people were saying make this cryotech, but yeah.
yeah. And then next up, we have one of his alt modes because he has two different alt modes. He's a triple changer, whatever this thing is.
Well, to me, it looks like it looks like a beast you would see in anime. It looks like,
Okay, that's his head
yeah,
right here. It looks like a wolf or like a dragon type wolf thing. It almost looks like Beast Wars Silverbolt, but like non-realistic. That
yeah,
type. You know what I mean? Like a
robotic,
Cybertronian,
yeah,
yeah, flying wolf.
like a Dinobot,
Yeah.
as opposed to a Beast Wars Dinobot.
I think it's interesting how he's got the arms, but then the hooves too here. So he's got
Yeah.
six limbs in this mode.
But he was the first Beast former, so he went all out for his alt
I
mode
guess
and
so.
crazy. But he does have like something you would see in an anime vibe. I really like it. He also, again, he looks like he'd fit in Transformers Prime Beast Hunters.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And all the dragons and stuff they had.
Oh, yeah. Let's get a look here. This is a Centaur mode. I think this is pretty cool. I'd probably display him like this. This is kind of badass, dude. I like this.
I think I would too. I mean, I like all the modes, but this mode, it's different. We don't get
Yeah.
Centaurs and Transformers, and it is really cool. It'd be unique, lined up with all the other primes if you're collecting all the primes. And yeah,
I like how he has a bow in this mode. I think this is sick how it turns into a bow.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
I forget what that weapon is. Everyone has a certain artifact. All their stuff are like Solus's hammer.
Yeah.
And the Star Saber and things, and I forget what his is. I always forget. There's so much, within Transformers. I'm old. It's not on the top of my head, but yeah. And they did say in the fan stream that the weapons are all gonna do something when you have them all. Are gonna do something secret. I don't know. Probably some Mega Ultra Doom weapon.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, definitely like the look of this guy. Up next, of the well-known Alpha Trion here, which I think he looks pretty cool. I always thought his color scheme was really cool with the purple, red, and the nice silvers with a few hits of blue. But I think it's funny how he comes with the feather, and I think this.
Oh, because he has the Covenant of Primus.
Yeah. But also, it looks like this Autobot symbol has a little. Oh no, it could just be shiny. But I thought it had some wear. But I like how that's shiny. It looks shiny and like reflective, doesn't it? Or something. I think that's pretty cool.
You're a whippersnapper. It's not just a feather; it's a quill.
Oh my god, guy. Okay. Same deal. But no, this guy, he looks pretty damn cool. He looks cool.
When I see Alpha Trion, for some reason, he just screams to me Autobot.
Yeah.
I don't know if because he's ingrained in my head from the G1 cartoon when I was young, but yeah, I see him and Autobot. He just like presents the Autobot faction.
Yeah.
As much so as I think Optimus Prime. I see Autobot. Everything that goes with being an Autobot. And he's
Definitely.
like in the G1, he's like he built Optimus Prime from Orion Pax, other iterations. He's his mentor. You get his mustache, but he's not bearded, so he's more like A3 before he became
He's got a little stash. Looks like he's got a little stash going on there. He's not bearded yet, but he doesn't have
stash. But he doesn't have the beard. And
I wonder how he built his beard.
I don't know how they grow beards.
He had to have built his beard.
But my point is that that's how A3 looked in the G1 cartoon before he became Alpha Prime, when he was the leader of the Autobot Resistance. So they basically made A3 and call him Alpha Trion, which is the same guy.
Yeah.
People are griping over that, but it's the same guy.
It's the same dude. It's like Orion Pax, Optimus Prime. It's the same deal, pretty much.
Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to this Alpha Trion.
For sure. And as I mentioned, he's got his little book in his quill here.
Yep. The Covenant of Primus.
Studying.
Remember that?
Being studious. It's like me when I go off to college. I bring my little quill everywhere I go.
I'm going to get you a quill for the fall. You can write in that. No more computers, no more laptop. You're going to write with a book. No more parchment. I'll get you parchment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And his alt mode. I think this looks pretty cool, too. I mean, I don't think he ever transforms or anything in the G1 cartoon, but maybe he does in an episode I forget, but...
No, he usually ends up looking kind of like this because figures of him down the road were, as most people know, usually repaints, slight modifications to Scourge toys.
Got you. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
spaceship.
think this guy looks pretty good. A little spaceship. Yeah. This to me, like you said, also kind of screams Autobot. It looks like a very non-aggressive vehicle.
Yeah, almost like DevCon spaceship mode in a
Yep.
way. A little
Yep.
bit, I
A
can
little
see.
bit. But
But yeah,
yeah.
most of these primes anyway, like the alt modes are okay. Onyx Primes is really awesome, but
Yeah.
the other ones are okay. I don't hate them, but to be honest, and I think most people aren't going to be having them in their alt modes much.
No.
The primes, they're going to be standing proud and tall in their bot modes. I'm planning
For
on
sure.
the nice regal display for mine.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, yeah. I believe this is the last prime of the day. We have Micronus Prime, if that's pronounced correctly.
Yep.
But yeah,
And
this
this
guy
one
looks.
is really cool.
He's like a
He's a
little. He's like a
he's a
little short, beefy dude.
he's a deluxe because probably
Yeah.
he's got Smalley's Micronus,
Yeah.
but he's just really cool. Like he looks just like a fun figure. I mean,
He does.
he's really neat. I like this Micronus a
He looks
lot.
like a cool character too. He almost reminds me of like for some reason I saw this dude. This is what it reminds me of a Baber's Jazz kind, just like how the visor is, and like he just seems like to kind of have that kind of like vibe that Jazz character had in the 2007 Transformers movie. You know what I mean? Kind of
I don't see
kind of
it, but okay.
I see. I don't know. I see it. I see it. You just I don't know. Just the short character vibes. You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, just the kind of the head and the visor going on there just reminds me of Jazz from that movie. But I love how he's got like his fingers are like weapons. I think that's really cool. It looks like weapons, at least to me. It looks like guns for fingers.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't know
like
if they are,
I
but
like the color on him too. He's got a
yeah,
good team. The blues,
yeah. You're big on blues.
different shades of bluish greenish with the blacks. I think that's black.
Yeah, I believe it's black down here, and then like a bluish up here.
Yeah, it's like a black mixed with a tint of blue. It's a really nice color scheme.
Yeah, it's almost like cups in a way. It kind of looks like
Yeah,
cups,
there
but
you
like
go.
darker, but a little darker.
Yeah,
But yeah, that is him in robot mode. And then I don't know how he gets to this, but he looks like he has a little dude up there riding his
because
what's that, unicycle
he's like
mode.
kind of like the god of the mini cons.
Yeah, yeah.
Him, his little
But
mini con.
I think that is really funny and cool alt mode for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some people that'll hate on it, but it's something different.
Yeah,
I think Transformers needs a little different from time to
yeah.
time. Yeah, I like
Agreed.
it. It's a fun little mode. He looks
Definitely.
like a figure I kind of want two of. One to stand with the rest of the primes prestigiously, and one nearby where I can just keep messing with them all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I like to do fiddle figures, I call them.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I like this alt mode. Looks pretty cool, dude. The little dude hanging out there.
Yeah, and he folds up. That little guy folds up into
Yeah.
mode.
I
So
think that's pretty crazy engineering. But yeah, let's see what we got up next. I forget. Oh yes, I had this on pre-order. I have it on pre-order. I cannot wait for this. Also, once again, I wanted to point out the box here. That looks epic. I'm not throwing away this box. Actually, a lot of my boxes I haven't thrown away that need to, get out of my room. But this one is staying no matter what. I might like cut this out and then like put it on my wall or something. I love this art. It looks sick with Megatron, the Fallen, and of course the GOAT of all Transformers, Soundwave. It just looks epic, dude. And I mean, look at these guys. They look so cool. I don't know why they decided to take the pictures like this with two of them in robot mode and poor Meg's in his tank mode, but they look epic. Oh, no. Go away. Go back. And I guess I didn't get the other picture of Megatron. Shoot, I forgot. But whatever. Megatron looks sick, promise. And then we have Fallen here. Let's get a zoom in on this dude. He looks sick. With like the blue like facial hair stuff going on here. Bits of blue throughout. Nice orange. Just menacing looking dude. And then of course Soundwave. Not one of the greatest Soundwaves, but he's Soundwave. But I don't think we ever saw him in actual robot mode in the Revenge of the Fallen.
no.
So I guess they came up with this, and I mean it could be worse. I like the head sculpt though.
It's cleaner than the Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Soundwave. It doesn't have all this stuff hanging off of them.
Yeah.
Cleaned up.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's like the one you gave to me, right? The gorilla arm one. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause he had like panels up here and stuff, but yeah, definitely a cleaner design here. As you see some panels down here.
I'm wondering if he turns into the spaceship mode too.
He
Is that
does. He does. Or no, I don't
okay?
know about the space. Actually, I don't know about the spaceship, but
He does the
definitely the
satellite
satellite.
mode
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
set, but
I forgot the damn picture of the other one. Pissing myself off. I'm pissing myself off.
well, we also
But
forgot the other Amazon exclusive too.
which one?
The Sandstorm and what is it? Slug
Oh
Slinger.
yeah, that's right. Oops. Let's see
But that's
here.
just a reissue. There's 2 reissues. Sandstorm
Yeah.
comes with the cartoon accurate head. I think the orange is a little
Yeah.
different, and then
Man,
I
I thought
think
I
that's
had those. They didn't. It's on my phone, but I don't have them. That's
it's
very odd.
okay.
Oh wait, actually, hold. I have them on my phone, but maybe if I just like refresh. Yeah, here we go. Here
Oh
we
yeah.
go.
Oh, and you forgot
Uh,
the other one too, Misfire or whatever his name is.
Which one
The
here?
the black
Oh yeah.
vehicle.
So we'll go back. We'll go to this one here. This is the other guys in their opposite modes because for whatever reason they decided to do it like this. But look at Megatron, dude. You're telling me you're not gonna get this, dude? Look at that. Look at it. Oh, look at it. Oh, look at the head, dude.
I collect very few. Ever since our collections got stolen, I
Yeah,
collect very,
bastards.
I collect very few Bayverse um figures,
Yeah,
especially new ones coming out. And I'm not a Bayverse hater per se or whatever, but the designs overall aren't my favorite. And like, so when I decide what I'm going to purchase for stuff coming out, usually other things take priority over stuff like this.
yeah,
They do look nice, I'm going to say, but I don't
yeah.
think I'll go in.
Let's see here,
If
Soundwave.
if Soundwave was by himself, I love Soundwave as well. Maybe not as quite much as you. You think of Soundwave kind of like how I think of my Dinobots, which is great. But if Soundwave was by himself, I love Soundwave still. He's one of my all-time favorite characters. But if he was sold by himself and not in this pack, I probably would pick up the Soundwave.
I say this image looks either poorly photoshopped or poorly transformed. There's a big gap right here,
Unless that's the
and right here.
engineering. That could
Unless
be
that's
the
the engineering,
engineering.
that could be. Either way, I don't really care because I'm probably not going to display them like that often. But the same with this. I mean, the Fallen never
Well,
transformed, I don't think, and I think that's a hideous alt mode. But I'm not going to
figure
display them like
transformed
that.
what he looked like. The original toy, I can't remember what it looked like.
No.
I was never a big fan of Revenge of the Fallen anyway.
Yeah.
I like the
I think
Megs
it's a
though.
good
I
movie.
had the leader Megs.
Yeah.
We had the leader
This
Megs.
dude looks. I can't. Oh, I probably honestly. You know me. I love Soundwave and all that, but I'm most excited for this Megatron dude. This dude looks menacing, dude. He looks so cool.
My favorite Bayverse design for Megatron was Dark of the Moon, the truck that looked like the end of
Yeah.
the elliptic truck. I love
Yeah.
that design, and he looked good in that.
Yeah.
That's my Bayverse
With like
Megatron.
he had like the cape on in that one too.
Yeah,
Like
the
yeah, that was pretty sick.
hood.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
That's
pretty cool. But yeah, moving on from Bayverse, let's go back here. There's a few ones I missed. Let's go back to this is the Venom. What's his name? They changed it, right?
Venom, because
Venom. That's right.
it's supposed to be Venom, but obviously they probably can't use Venom because of Marvel.
Yeah.
So this will complete all of the Insecticons. 2 are Amazon exclusive 2-pack. Are they in a 3-pack or 2-pack? Well, they're in.
I don't remember.
And that just came out not too long ago. And then the other one, unfortunately, is locked behind an exclusive that's been out for quite a while, so he's probably expensive to get, but this would complete them if you had them. I like Insecticons. When I think of the Insecticons, though, I think of the main 3.
Yeah.
I don't like this figure at all, and I'll probably eventually pick them up because I do want to go back and get that Amazon multi-pack. I don't know if I would go and hunt down the other pack that has, I forget which ones. I think it's not Chop Shop. I forget which one's in that multi-pack. The one that's been out for a while. But I know Gold Bug's in it, so it's most likely I think is pretty pricey. But yeah, he's pretty. I mean, he looks 90s, that's for sure.
He looks 90s. He looks like he's got like a Mon Calamari like a head sculpt here. Kind of.
Yeah.
That I think is interesting, but I don't know though. The paint scheme is kind of giving off some like Halloween vibes here with the orange, kind of looks like a pumpkin and stuff, and the orange and green here. But he looks pretty cool. I'm
That's
probably
the
not gonna
90s,
get him, but
that's the 90s,
but
baby. I'll eventually pick.
this is him in his bug mode. Looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, the Halloween pumpkin vibes though. There's I think
Get him
it's
for
odd how it
Halloween.
looks like the greens are a little different here. I don't know how I feel about that, but like I said, I'm probably not going to get this guy anyway because I'm not very familiar with the character. Actually, I'm not at all familiar with the character. Besides, this is the first I've seen of the dude, and I'm not 40 something going on 50 years old, so I have not heard of this dude.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's go back here. And what's this guy? What's his name? Cross
I think it's Misfire, isn't it?
Misfire, I believe that's it. Yeah.
And this is a repaint of the Armada Red Alert. And he looks really cool. That Red Alert, I haven't picked him up yet.
He looks pretty cool though.
He looks like a really good toy. By all accounts, he's a really good toy.
For sure.
And the mold looks awesome in black and red.
Yeah, it does. Menacing.
It's not something I'm jumping to go grab, but eventually I may pick him up. And that doesn't mean I think he's bad. He's just there's so much stuff.
Yeah, you can only get so much.
You don't. There's only so much money to be spent on these unless I win the Powerball.
Yeah.
So eventually maybe, but like he still looks good. That's not to say he's bad. Like I said, if I have to choose, I would do the Armada Red Alert just because he's Armada Red Alert.
Yeah, definitely other figures take more priority, but I don't know. This guy's kind of giving me some like almost like some like lockdown vibes. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like if this guy if they just slapped the label and it said lockdown on it, I'd be like, yeah, I could see that. You know what I mean? Maybe with a slightly different like.
Well, he'd have to be green and black.
Yeah.
And he's not a sports car like a menacing muscle car.
No, but I mean like if you took the car and then put like spikes on it or something, kind of like how they did in animated.
Just this is our version of lockdown. But if they did that, people would go nuts. Because I'm not happy with the lockdown we did get.
Yeah.
From the Raiders. I was very disappointed. Well, first I was like, oh, this isn't supposed to be animated lockdown. It's just lockdown. And then I was like, well, it doesn't matter what it's supposed to be. To me, it was a piss poor lockdown in general. And I'm very disappointed with that.
Okay, so looking at this guy. If you get really unlucky here, this could be a pain in the ass to pose, it looks like. So if you get like a flimsy like ankle here, this looks like it can just fold up and it'd be a pain in the ass to pose and stuff here. So that's something I would look out for this guy.
Well, yeah.
And if it's the same for what's his face, Red Alert. But yeah, this mold looks pretty cool though.
By all accounts, people love that Red Alert.
Yeah. Here he is in alt mode. But yeah, like I said, if he's had like some spikes or something, or like a bigger engine, like here.
Yeah, he's not a muscle car, but
no.
If they made him into a lockdown, he'd be better than that Star Raider lockdown, though.
Yeah. But no, this guy looks really, really cool, and I like the red windshield too. I think that looks nice. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, these guys.
The Amazon exclusive 2-pack.
Yep, with Sandstorm and what's his face?
I think that's Misfire. Is it Misfire or I forget. I get their Target Masters. Oh, what is
I
his
forget.
name? Let me look it up real quick.
All right. But yeah, the Sandstorm looks really, really cool.
Yeah, that's just the same leader class we got in Legacy. I think the oranges are a little different, and he's got the cartoon head.
Yeah.
I'm
just worried about, if I was going to get that, I'd be worried about the backpack. The backpack looks a little busy. Like, it looks accurate, but it looks heavy.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that like they were kind of marketing this 2-pack like in case you missed out on the Sandstorm, here he is again. So buy this expensive
Yeah.
2-pack. Thing
Yeah.
is, you can you can still get him. He's readily available on the normal places like Big Bad
Yeah.
and stuff.
Big Bad. Yeah.
But if you look on eBay, you can pick him up with shipping like cheaper than the original price. So
Yeah.
you didn't miss out.
Yeah.
Slinger. I want to keep saying this, but
Slugslinger. That's right.
Slinger. And as for him, I believe he is a reissue of the Titans Return Slugslinger. The 3 Slugslinger, Misfire, and Trigger Happy were all in Titans Return, and they were very hard to get, and they command super huge aftermarket prices.
Yeah.
So they're Titans Return, so his head is like a Titan Master,
Yeah.
Headmaster.
Yeah.
But what's disappointing to me on those is they're Target Masters. And even in this, they had a chance to at least give him a Target Master. I mean, yes, if you didn't want to give him a traditional regular head instead of a Titan Master, you should have at least included a Target Master. Because he's
Yeah.
still not a Target Master.
Yeah.
And I do love the Titans Return molds. They're really good, and I think they're really good, and they're fun. But again, this is a Target Master, and that was huge. I know the whole gimmick for Titans Return was to have the Titan Masters become the heads, but you came out with 3 of the main Decepticon Target Masters in Titans Return, and you didn't give them Target Master guns.
Yeah.
So here was a chance to rectify that, get one of these things back out. So, people, the command high aftermarket prices.
Yeah.
And now you have a chance to get one out so people, can get it again. You put it in a 2-pack, which people who might not care if their Sandstorm has a battle mask or not.
Yeah.
And you don't even go a little step further and give it the Target Master gun.
Yeah.
I, I don't like this crap that's going.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
Yeah.
try to block it behind a 2-pack and like I said, and you have to pay that extra money if you really, really wanted them because it's a 2-pack, at least give us the Target Master gun. They give us Target Master guns with other figures and Amazon exclusives like the Windsweeper. I have that Windsweeper and Breakdown.
Yeah.
And they gave him 2 Target Master guns because he was a dual wielder and they did it right.
Yeah.
So what the hell? I'm kind of disappointed because I don't have a Sandstorm and this was interesting to me. But the thing that makes me not want to get it is just because he's still not a Target Master, really. Even though the Titans, like I said, I like the Titans Return figures overall. I think they're nice and really good. And it's cool they're still putting them out. I would love for them to reissue the damn Monster Bots because I did not pick those up. I didn't get a chance. They were super hard to get except for Twinferno. But yeah, I've rambled on enough about that. More displeasure.
Yeah.
But Sandstorm looks good. He looked good the first time around. I like
Definitely.
the helicopter mode's really cool.
Yeah. Really clean. Really, really clean, I must say. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Oh, yes. On to our next segment here.
So our topic of the day is I've been saying this and I was talking to Tron about it, is I've been talking about this for a while. I was thinking a long time ago about making a video on it, and I thought now that we're doing this would be a good topic, which are reissues of older lines. We've gotten for many years now issues of the original G1 toys, and we've been getting, because of the Walmart vintage line they had, Beast Wars reissues. And I thought, isn't it time that we get reissues of other older lines? And so there's a lot of lines to choose from. So I said, let's each pick a line that we would like to see reissues from and talk about it. And for me, I would love to see reissues, as you can see on the screen here, the Transformers Prime figures. For one, one of my favorite Transformers shows. For 2, I really like the toys. There were some duds. The Knockout wasn't that great of a toy. I still liked it. And another thing is, for me, is that this screams for Hasbro to reissue them. And here, I think these are the first editions, I believe you have on screen, which is cool because they came out before they did the Robots in Disguise Transformers Prime. There's a third-party company, APC Toys. They're actually making these figures. They're pretty much, I think they're the same exact molds as the first edition figures. Most of them are. They're upscaled a little bit, and you think third party, they're going to be super expensive, and they're not. They're like $35, $40, and there's always sales on them, and they're nice. They're not, because they're lower priced doesn't mean they're cheap. I have some of them. I'm still picking them up as I
To
go.
say you have the Soundwave from Transformers Prime, right? Is that
I have,
APC?
yep, I have the
Yeah.
Soundwave, I have the Prime, I have the RC, and do I have one? Oh, and I have one that they actually was their own mold. They didn't use the first edition molds, and it's actually way better than the Transformers Prime version. Is Black Arachnia.
Mm.
And I do have to get the Cliff Jumper. I can't believe I didn't get him first. Oh, because when I started picking them up, he was sold out, but now he's back in stock. They have a Bulkhead, which I need to get, which I do have the first edition Bulkhead still. But I don't know. I think the APC, because they upscale them a little,
Yeah.
that the APC might fit a little better with them. They also have Megatron, and they have Wheeljack. So I want to get those. No Bumblebee or Ratchet yet, but I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day, I'm sure.
But because of that, and for their prices, they're eating Hasbro's lunch. They're taking food off of Hasbro's table, because they are doing something that people like me would love: reissues from Transformers Prime. I'm hoping they do a Starscream as well. I mean, really need a Starscream.
Mm.
But it's just insane that, like, they're doing it when you're talking third party for a decent price, and they're nice, and then they're going and making a better Black Arachnia. But as far as reissues, I don't know how Hasbro doesn't see that and see that they sell. A lot of these, they keep pumping them out. I think they're pumping them out because you'll see that they're sold out, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then later on, like, you check, and they're back in stock. So they're pumping them out, it seems. So Hasbro, this is a line you might want to look at for reissue in the future. I mean, I would get them, even though Knockout's not the best figure. I would love. I like that Knockout way more than I liked your attempt in Legacy at Knockout by G1ifying him, because he doesn't even look like Knockout.
No, he doesn't
He
at all.
didn't even put a smirk on his face. He's known for that smirk. And
Yeah.
it's like, it just looks like Decepticon. He could be a Decepticon trooper. You could just paint him Decepticon trooper. So
be like Steve.
yeah. Here's Gary. Decepticon Gary or Steve. Yeah, you can have one blue, one.
Oh, you don't get the joke.
green.
That's what. And online, if you're in the TikTok, you get it. Like the base trooper from that show.
Yeah,
they call him Steve. That's what the fan base named him, Steve.
Like the Viacons, you mean?
Yeah.
They make the Viacons too. PC toys. So, and like I said, they're not junk figures either. The price point's nice, and they're quality. I haven't had an issue. I've never heard anybody really have an issue with them, and they're really nice. They're nicely decoed. So Hasbro, if you wanted to release some other figures, reissue figures, I don't think there's wrong with Transformers Prime.
Absolutely not. That brings us to my pick. Some animated. This image is small. Let me zoom in. It won't let me zoom in. Whatever. But you get the idea. Transformers animated. Love that show. Still watch it to this day. I don't care that I'm 20. Still a good show, good story. People bash, how some of these guys look, but I really don't care. I would
Well, that's
love
winners.
yeah, but I love this show. I love the characters in this show. And I think it's another line that Hasbro can definitely take advantage of. Um, I want a Blitzwing because he's impossible to get now.
That's what I'm saying. I would die for an animated Blitz.
Oh yeah, people would go crazy for that. That's such a unique take on the character in the show for
It's my
sure.
favorite. It's my favorite take on Blitzwing. I mean,
But
by far.
yeah, but yeah, I
I
think
love
it's
I love animated Blitzwing. I loved animated as well. So
yeah. I just think it's so cool what they did with him in the show, and so many other characters, just different takes on him, like how Soundwave came about and stuff like that, and how like the whole Ninja Bot thing. It's just the whole. It's like seeing Transformers in like a different light, and I just love their take on it. And I would love to have a brand new line of these guys from
like,
that show.
yeah, reissued. I
Yeah,
mean, we are getting. They do trickle in
yeah.
with Legacy and Age of the Primes, but
It was
from
also remember it's also what is it? Ratchet's coming out in Retgar from this.
yeah,
Definitely need Retgar.
I love animated
Oh
Redgar.
yeah, Retgar's the bomb.
But the thing is,
Garbage.
what I yeah, I love that. We used to
Yeah.
watch that episode over and over.
Oh yeah, it's great.
But the thing is, though, is what I'll say is even though some might say, well, we're getting updated animated figures, but that doesn't matter. This line I would love to see reissued as well because yeah, we're getting updated animated figures. And compared to the updated Prime figures, Transformers Prime figures, they're a lot better. I think the
Yep.
update. But the thing is, that would be like saying, why are you making new updated figures of G1 in like Studio Series and just G1 in general because we had those figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to see this line reissues from this line as well. I would love
For
it because
sure.
I enjoyed. It took me a little bit because of the drastic change in the design of the show,
Yeah. Yeah.
but once I got used to it, it's a really good show, really good story, and they ended it way too quick. And
Mm.
they canceled it, so they had to rush the ending, which stunk.
Yeah.
What we were getting was getting really really good. But
Dude, you
yeah,
see the leaked images of what was it, Bumble Prime or whatever they were gonna call him? Bumblebee was gonna become a Prime, dude. It's
yeah,
crazy. And the design looked pretty cool too. So I think,
yeah.
like I said, they thought of Transformers like just outside of the mind of a true biblical G1 fan, and they wanted to go all out. And I'm so disappointed that we couldn't get a season 4. I would
Well,
love to see Bumble Prime or whatever his name would have been, whatever
the
it
head
was.
the head character designer, Derek J. Wyatt, unfortunately he passed away too young, real too young.
Yeah,
Um, he's the lead designer of these things, and he loved Transformers, so he brought all that love into his designs, and I think they look great.
me too, for
And the
sure.
engineering on the figures is incredible because when you look at them in their alt modes, you're like, there's no way this thing is going to transform into a
Yeah,
looks like a cartoon, and they do. I mean, I
yeah,
think a great job of being able to pull that off.
yeah, for sure. I think that's all we. Oh no, you want to talk about this guy here?
Another line that I would like to see is reissues from Transformers Cybertron. Really great line. I mean, the Energon or Unicron trilogy in general had some really nice toys, but the Cybertron toys I really enjoyed. This is the Prime. I would love to get a reissue of that Prime. It's actually one of my grails, the Cybertron Optimus Prime. There is rumors going out that they are gonna bring that to like I don't know Age of the Primes or not, but they want to do a new one, an update. Even if they do an update and it's awesome, like the Armada Prime update, I still would love to go and get the original. I mean, this thing was fully loaded. It had, I believe, it had lights and sounds,
Yeah, a
and
lot of play value.
I would, and I would love them to reissue this, but also other Cybertron characters as well
Mm.
because they were good. They were big, chunky fun figures. Love the Cyber Planet key gimmicks. Yeah, it'd be nice. Because of the gimmicks, I don't know if they would reissue them, because it seems like they don't want to have anything to do with gimmicks. And a reissue, if you reissue the straight up figure, I don't know if they'd ever do it, but I would love it.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Be really, really cool.
Yeah,
But
and a lot of the ones I were picking up at the time when you got into Transformers were Cybertron figures
mm,
and Unicron trilogy figures, and even like repaints of them and things like that. So, and they were just fun.
yeah. But yeah, I think that's all we have for this week, isn't it?
I think so. This was the reissue issue, just going over some two lines, kind of three, that we
Yeah.
would see reissued. I'm not saying stop reissuing G1 stuff. I love it. That's what I grew up with. I try to pick up as many of them as I can. The Beast Wars, everybody that watches the channel knows I love my Beast Wars,
Oh
so I'm
yeah.
not. Yeah, I'm just saying. In addition, maybe Hasbro think about reissuing some of these toys, because they're really good toys and they were fun, and I would like to get them and not have to pay, especially for animated's aftermarket prices are insane for almost every figure. I mean, some of them are okay. I got the Blur and I got the leader bulkhead for decent, but like the Blitzwing is insane. The aftermarket's like over
Yeah.
$300 usually. Yeah, and let us get these toys back in our hands, where we don't have to cut off our left arm to get them. And
Yeah.
that brings us for the question for next time. Question for next week is, what Transformers line would you like to see reissues from? And we'd like to hear from you. You can comment this video, comment in this video below, and I will put it up as a poll question as well. And we'll swing around and check out the results next week, because we're gonna, like I mentioned at the beginning, we're gonna do this aiming for every Saturday night to be up.
Yep.
And
Every Saturday. Hopefully.
so
Fingers crossed.
yeah, we'll swing around and we'll have a new topic and any other toy news, cartoon news, or anything Transformers news.
Yeah. But yeah. I think that's it for us today. But
Yep.
yeah. Thanks for
Please,
docking.
please
Oh
like
yeah.
and subscribe. And
Yeah.
thanks for
The
docking.
shameless YouTube begging. Forgot.
Gotta do the shameless YouTube begging.
Of course.
All
All
right.
right. All
See
right.
you next time. Bye.